Okay, my storage is gonna fail in like a couple seconds, but this is where Jack is. She's 10 minutes in, you guys see, and she's at 5 miles per hour. There you go, 5 miles per hour right there. And so we're doing this before playtime, so hopefully I'll be able to clip this to the beginning of the video of her and Kratos playing, but I have to offload stuff from my phone first, which is taking a long time, so. So we're gonna do we'll give it to like 11 minutes. She's not really panting as much as I wanted her to be. I don't think she's gonna be incredibly tired, to be honest. Maybe we'll do 15, but we'll see. I'm gonna watch her and see how she does, and we'll go from there. So yeah, there's just proof that I am exercising her beforehand, because I guarantee you she's still gonna be crazy AF when she does get to go outside with Kratos. Alright, see you guys in a minute. Alright, you guys just saw Jack get off the treadmill, so I ended up only doing a little bit, like 10 minutes, simply because, a little over 10 minutes, simply because, it's been a while since Jack's on the treadmill, and even though I know she can go a lot longer, and she probably needs to go a lot longer, I want to kind of progressively get to the point where she's going 15, 20 minutes, or whatever it takes her to get tired. Yeah, she's barking because she knows that, Samara knows that barking inside the house gets my attention, and I grab her and put her in the kennel. But what she hasn't figured out is that barking out here doesn't matter to me. Like, she can do all she wants out here. It's annoying for the video, but like I'm not about to be worried about it. So we're doing something different today. So today, Kratos is out, and this lady is on a tether. So she's on the longer tether. There she is. She's not on the shorter one, so she still has plenty of room to run. But we're doing this to see how this differs, because Jack is not tired. Like, look, she's not even panting anymore. Not even panting anymore. Yeah, she needs a lot more on the treadmill, but I want her to get her in there progressively and not just like make her on the treadmill when she hasn't done it in a couple months. Like, she hasn't done it since the winter, so yeah. Anyway, you guys, well, not necessarily the winter, but it's been, she hasn't done it consecutively since the winter. Anyway, you guys, let's get out of here because the Miss Lady's making a little winter noise. The little babby girl. Okay. So a bit of a different video, so we'll see how it goes. Kratos with the hiding. Remember I said in the other video where Kratos used to hide under here from Jack? Literally like this. So the likelihood of Jack getting tangled up in the cord and not having this much range is very high. And I might even put her on the tether out there. So we'll see. Okay. Toys are always good things to play with because they're not focused on tackling each other. I guess is the best way to say it. So it's always a good way to go. And those are just a big old stick. Yeah, but she's not near tired enough for me to actually feel comfortable with her off the tether. You guys can see, she's full of energy still. She needs to be panting, as in her tongue is hanging, her mouth is open wide. You know how she looks at the end of her playtimes? You know, mouth all open, tongue hanging out. She needs to look like that, and she was just doing a very light pant inside. So she's not where she needs to be, where I would think she would need to be. I guess even as a starting point for her to actually play nicely, but we'll put on the tether and see how this goes. Like I said, I always say like I said, like I actually say stuff, but sometimes I don't be saying stuff. Anyway, point is I may have mentioned before that Kratos has hurt his, I think it's just his Achilles tendon. I don't know. Sometimes he'll do stuff and he'll start limping, but by the next day he's running and bouncing around again. And so he's had hurt his legs before, and it's always been the back too, or one or the other. So, yeah, you can't go far. I'm sorry, I'm just watching. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So she can't go too far. If I had the tether in it, where the thing that's by the door had a tether in the ground, I should have been pulled it up. But since I got it anchored to this clothesline that I don't actually use, like, she can't move that. So it's good stuff. Anyway, but yeah, anyway, so Kratos had hurt himself running away from Jack, and there's been a couple times, I think all of them are technically been recorded. I don't know if I've labeled them as such, but most of the times he's gotten hurt by just running away from Jack and not really paying attention to where he's going or how he's moving or whatever. But there has been a couple times when it's been directly Jack's fault. One time she kind of did the pit maneuver. If you guys know anything about pit maneuvers in the US, I'm not sure if it's called pit maneuvers anywhere else, but if you Google pit maneuver for police and car chases, literally she did that, and Kratos ran into, you know, lost control, I guess, and hit a tree. That was directly her fault. And there's another time when she literally just tackled him, and, you know, he had a limp. So you know, so it's always been her. She's been involved with it in some type of way, usually just indirectly, just by she's just chasing, but you know, she's always been involved. So that's why I definitely want to put a cap on her, so hopefully Kratos doesn't feel like he needs to kind of run away a lot. He is still a puppy, and you guys notice that even though he has 20+ pounds on her, he still kind of runs away if given the opportunity. So and Kratos should have about 45 pounds. Yeah, right on 45 pounds, and healthy weight. Dogo Argentino Mastiffs, when they're fully grown, healthy weight is about 95. Naturally, they could be bigger if I just made him overweight, but I don't plan on doing that. Anyway, so he should be healthy weight. He should be 45 pounds bigger than her as an adult. So hopefully one day he'll figure out that he can use his weight to his advantage. But that day, I mean, he's kind of learning, but for the most part, he still kind of keeps his distance if possible. Yeah, that's Jack making all that noise, by the by. Come on, baby bonus. That was that rock, by the way. It was kind of caught up in the cord, so when she pulled it taunt, it kind of flew up. Also, these two rocks are in the yard because of them and his cord. They just get it tied. They get the cord tied up in the rock, and they pull on it and just moves it gradually into the yard. He's such a pretty boy. He's a little bit awkward looking still. I was looking at him today, and I really don't like his croup. Look at that. Look at Miss Lady posing out there. Mrs. also doesn't have a really good, I mean, she's not being bred, she's spayed, but I do try to practice looking at dogs as far as structure goes, simply because I want to try to show Dogo Argentino Mastiffs, and I won't show Samara, Kratos, because they do have faults. Kratos in particular, well, first of all, I guess I should say that in the US, a dog's just not going to really do well unless they've kind of been, not necessarily, well, because transformed into the standard, right? So Dogo Argentino Mastiffs usually have their ears cropped. Samara and Kratos will not. And my ideal for doing that, simply because I did not plan on showing them. First of all, if you guys have noticed, Kratos has this lack of skin on his arm. I literally have no clue what it's from, but I have ideals, and maybe I can show you guys. What's up, baby girl? Will you not trip me with the cord? I'm gonna go this way, so I don't think she can follow me this far. That way I don't have to worry about her crossing in front of me and tripping me up. Ah, good gee, sorry, I'll walk right into the freaking spider web. Hi, baby Goonies. I don't know if I can get it. But you see that pink right there? So yeah, so he's been missing hair in that strip right there on his arm. And it's on the inside of his arm. He's been missing fur there since I've gotten him. And I don't know what it is technically. However, I do notice that where he gets scabs at, when they peel, they don't necessarily grow back hair. Like, he has enough fur that it's fine, and you usually don't really notice. But where he has scabs and stuff, his hair doesn't necessarily grow back. I don't know if it's just he doesn't grow back fast in the scab spots, but in that area, he's never had hair. And I've had him for, what, how old is he now? 9 months? I've had him for 7 months now. And so, a little over 7 months. So, plenty of time for hair to grow back, but just hasn't. So I'm wondering if he was hurt as a puppy and the breeder just did not tell me. Or if it's just some kind of genetic thing where in that area he's just not going to grow hair. I don't think it's genetic. Because as far as I know, his mother and father don't have that issue. It's just literally him. But we'll literally see this first litter if he's healthy enough to have puppies. But anyway, though, that's a flaw that he just wouldn't do well in the ring because of that. Because they need to have a uniform coat, and his coat is not uniform because he has that bald spot. Also, I really don't like his reangulation. It's actually, his reangulation is probably, like, pretty much okay for the standard, as far as what I've seen. Like, I've seen some Dogo Argentino Mastiffs that have won championships and they have no angulation. Like, it's that bad. But, his reangulation is kind of standard for the breed, but I just feel like it could be better. Like, as a dog that works, like, good reangulation is good. And I find the Dogo Argentino Mastiff kind of lacks in that area sometimes. And I don't want to overshoot it because, of course, you do something too crazy, then it's also not going to do well. But I do want to just have a little bit better in my lines before I show. But anyway, but that's Kratos' problem, so that's why I'm not showing him. Also, I just don't think he has a temperament for it. At the time, I didn't think. Like, when he's a puppy, he's a little more skittish. And he's not necessarily the bravest dog on earth right now. But he's a lot more confident. But he wasn't like that as a puppy, so I thought his temperament's all off. You know, you've probably seen videos of that I've been talking about that earlier. You guys been here for a while. But, he's a big old lug. But yeah, anyway, so that's Kratos. Samara, I do, like, she wouldn't do well unless her nose was fully black, and I don't know if it will be fully black. Well, like, both of our parents have fully black noses, but it is a thing to where sometimes they don't. Like, sometimes they'll wear masks as they mature and their noses don't become full black. And so it is something that I am concerned about. And on top of that, like I said before, she has it's a very, very tiny, and I wish I could get it on my camera, but she has this black spot on her back. And you guys will never notice it with my camera because it's just that insignificant. But if you lift up her fur around it, it's like black fur, but then it's like on top, and on top of it it's white fur, right? So I'm just watching Kratos make sure he doesn't hurt himself. Watch out, boy. Yeah, see, that's gonna get Jack hurt one day because she desperately wants to catch and drag him. This is what I was showing you with why, like, Kratos and or Jack and Samara aren't going to be hanging out. And it's literally just her prey drive. Stop to chew on some weeds. Pop. Don't you, Kratos? Absolutely not. Kratos, what did I say? He's a little jumping bean himself. I just want to see Kratos zoom. Stop and dig out some weeds. Oh, I think he's pottying back there. Oh, he might not be. Pop. I'm eating spiders, man. Yeah, his neighbors. He's usually on a tether, so he's usually not out here, unless he's not free by the gate unless I'm out here. So, because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he can climb that. So it's really important that he's tethered when I'm not out here. So the little boy's a billy goat. Samara's gonna be a billy goat too. What was I talking about? But yeah, so Samara has a spot on her back, and it looks like it might be the skin, but it's literally just like black fur covered up by a little patch of white fur. And I've lifted up, and it's very clearly black fur, so she would be disqualified also. She does not have a uniform white coat. But she's supposed to be able to throw a really good head, and I also, because her parents have really nice heads, and I also think that that she will have a, I love her personality. Like her, she's real stubborn. She's probably gonna be more stubborn than Kratos, just based on my comparison to him and her at this age. Hi, okay, hi, sorry about the abrupt cut to Mrs. Pretty Face. So basically what happened is my phone died, and then I thought I had charged it with enough charge to record, and I did record. My phone died again, but for whatever reason, that particular recording, my ending to the video, did not load, or did not save on my phone. I don't freaking know. So basically I had a whole video where they were still outside and they were calming down. They had drunk some water, they were tired, so they were basically just wrestling instead of like running around and playing. Leave my phone alone, girl. If you turn it off, I'm recording. I am. I transferred the e-collar from Kratos to Jack, because Jack was just being extra, as you guys saw. She was doing a whole bunch of tackling and stuff, which I was just not down for. Didn't actually have to use the e-collar on her, but, you know, that was that. I did have to use it with her and Samara, who you guys will see that video later. But I only had to use the vibrate, and I didn't have to use anything else with her, so I had all that recorded, and then it just didn't save, so I had to make this exit, or this as my outro, so that's what happened. That's what y'all missed. Samara's interested because the washing machine is going. And Kratos is not in here, so we got the Mars. So might be getting in trouble soon because she's too light. We got the Miss Lady Jack, and we have the Paco Peas. Paquicos. What's up, man? He's like, I'm an old man, leave me alone. But yeah, Samara might be getting in trouble soon. I don't care too much of her about her bouncing and stuff like that, but I do care about her barking. She has a tendency to bark when she wants out and she's trying to demand to get out. And what I've been doing is just picking her up to take her back into the playroom. But she's been doing good. This is her best yet. And she's also eyeing Jack, which isn't good, because she'll want to kind of encourage Jack to play, and sometimes she does that by barking, which is unacceptable, so she'll just have to learn that lesson by getting put back up in the kennel in the playroom. Anyway, yeah, Kratos isn't in here because I had, literally, it was an hour. We're just not an hour now. I cleaned up his mess and stuff an hour ago and whatever. But an hour after we came inside, and I'm saying, like, you would have seen in the video that I did my original conclusion where we were just kind of chilling outside. And they would rest a little bit, but they would just stand around and look at me and look at the door. Kratos is going to the door, he wants to come in. Which of course was kind of close to dinner time at that time, but besides the point, we had time outside where they weren't playing, where Kratos was just basically walking around and grazing. And an hour after that when we came in, and they had just finished eating, which usually they use bathroom afterwards, but Kratos usually does pretty well. Like I usually have enough time to take Samara out and then take Kratos out. But anyway, so an hour after they came in and ate anything, this little boy, while I was taking Samara out, pees by the door, and he pees a whole river. Like, and that's because he was drinking a whole bunch of water when you're outside. But that's not the point. He pees a river, and it's like he was just out. He was just out. Jack, absolutely not. So yeah, so he's in the playroom, and he'll be in the playroom until it's time to go to sleep, which of course I'll let him come inside to sleep. He will still be sleeping in this kennel, and not for any particular reason other than I don't want to be woken up on my first alarm in the morning. I like getting up on my third alarm, not my first. And Jack, she will let me sleep until the third alarm. Kratos will not. He will be up and getting into stuff on the first alarm. So anyway, but that's the plan, and I'm going to sleep. What, it's 9:30? In about an hour, I'm going to sleep. Which hopefully in about an hour I'll be crawling into bed, but it usually never works out that way. Usually in about an hour I've started taking the dogs out, then I would take a shower, and then I hop into bed, but that's not the point. In an hour we'll be starting to go to bed, so they'll be able to go to the bathroom again for their final time tonight, and then kind of I can retire for the night, they can retire for the night, but yeah, that's what you guys missed, and that's where we are now. I really wanted to show you guys how Kratos and Jack are inside the house. That'll just have to be a separate video when Kratos is actually inside and out. Jack is very interested in the toys. Like, Jack has a crazy prey drive, you guys. I mean, you guys have seen it. You guys saw it in this video. But she's trying to be a good girl. I had to fuss at her too because I had this kennel. So basically I took the e-collar off of her when I had Kratos. Because Kratos has a tendency to howl if he's out in the playroom. He wants to be inside, and so we've been working on that in the past, but just in case I went ahead and put the e-collar on him now. But anyway, the point is she was in her kennel because she ate in there. You guys can see her little slow feeder, and so she was in the kennel, so I'd open the gate up to get the e-collar off of her. And sorry, I'm watching Samara because first of all she hasn't pooped after she ate. She did pee, she hasn't pooped yet. And on top of that, she has a tendency to bark. And if she does bark, I do apologize, but I'm going to have to stop immediately. Scoop her up and put her out in the playroom. She's not going to be happy about that, but she hasn't quite learned her lesson on the whole not
barking in my house. Like she's really big on the whole trying to demand thing, which Kratos is the same way. I do think Samara's probably going to be overall a more stubborn dog to deal with just because of her personality. But I had to deal with Kratos. Like, these dogs, they like to try to get you to do what they want to do. And a lot of it is vocal. Like, they're not normally vocal dogs. But if they want you to do something and they haven't learned, like, okay, I can't make the rules, I have to follow them, they're going to be barking at you to try to get you to do what they want. Maybe that's the point. What was I talking about? I have no clue. Oh yeah, I'm watching her because she hasn't pooped yet, and she's real hyped. So, you know, after play, dog puppies usually use the bathroom, so I'm just watching her. But yeah, what was I talking about before all this? I was talking about how the dogs are inside and why I prefer having Jack out rather than. Oh yeah, I was talking about she got in trouble. So I took the call off of her, and I did not close this gate. One of the things I've been dealing with Jack is that if there's a door open, and this is in particular usually the door to the playroom, especially now that we have Samara out here and she sleeps out there. She's out there quite a bit, especially while we're kind of teaching her how to behave inside the house. She's out there quite a bit because she's just, you know, she makes mistakes. She's a puppy. And so there's been instances where, you know, for a reason I have that door open. Maybe I'm like, Samara, go in to get some water before we go back outside to use the bathroom or whatever it is. The rule is they do not cross the threshold until I say okay. And that's just the reality of the situation. It's always been that way. But Jack specifically really struggles with that. Like, she just sometimes forgets that that's a thing. So anyway, so when I was out here, I left this gate open. So I'm like, you know what? We can make this work. We can make this a little training exercise that, look, I didn't say the okay words. You can't come out. And so she was getting frustrated a little bit because she wanted to be like, oh, well, the door's open. I want to come out, and you're not here. So let me just say, because I would walk out the living room because I was cleaning up Kratos' mess. But anyway, and so we were fussing at her a little bit. So she's trying to be extra good because I did fuss at her a bit. Like, get back in there. And Jack's really good where she'll look all real style. Like, Jack's really good at following verbal direction. She usually doesn't need any other type of correction. But yeah, it's just kind of weird because technically, if I ask my dogs to do something, if I'm waiting for my dogs to do something, Kratos is usually the first one to do it because he knows what I want. And Jack will sit there and kind of be like, I have literally never heard of sit down, stay in my life. Like, she'll have like I don't know, you know, a moment of forgetfulness or whatever. But it's just weird because she's also like, so she's worse in that sense, but like, generally speaking, unless she's real hyped, I can fuss at her once about something and she'll behave. So little trying to taste your tail. Anyway, y'all, I don't want to make this video way too long because there's no point. I'm really gonna add it to the video that I'm creating here. But yeah. Anyway, I am going to go. I do not think there's anything else that I need to say. Let's say it's 9:30, so I'll be going to sleep in an hour. Is there anything else I want to say? Do you know Miss Lady Lou? What's up? Oh, she's about to get herself in trouble. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.